If you're with a woman, no matter what happens, never whine, okay? You can do anything with a woman. Within reason, of course, nothing illegal or anything, but never whine, no matter what. If you ever start to whine or catch yourself that you're whining, just laugh it off and say, oh, I'm sounding like a little bitch, and change the subject. Never whine. Because women hate whiners. Oh yeah. They hate whiners. They hate men who whine. They hate men who share their emotions. Yeah. There's this whole fashion as of late of like guys sharing their emotions and telling a girl, oh, I feel like this, I feel like that, going all soy boy and cucked out and pathetic, right? And guys, a lot of sensible guys, a lot of guys who fucking should have known fucking better, they think that women actually like this. They think that women actually likes a man who's going to be like, I don't know, I have these feelings. The vast majority of women hate whiners, and they want nothing to do with it. The only women I've ever spoken to who are really upfront about this issue are Eastern European women. Yeah? I mean, Eastern European, be it basically every Russian-speaking woman that I've ever met. She always says the same thing. She says she wants a man made of stone. What does she mean? Well, does she want a guy with a dick that's rock hard? I don't know, ask them. But temperamentally, emotionally, what they want is a guy who's rock solid, who's steady, who's just like even keeled, steady as a rock. That's what they want. They don't want a guy who whines. They don't want a guy who's temperamental. The Eastern European girls tell me this, and a lot of them are very forthright because they say that women, Eastern European women, have enough emotional baggage going on every month because of menstruation, of course. They don't want a guy to have these emotional ups and downs. They want him steady. Yeah. Now, in the West, of course, what's going on is that there's this fashion. There's been this fashion going on, I don't know, for the last 40-odd years, 50 years probably, of, women demanding that men share their emotions, share their emotional upheavals. Now, when I was growing up, this fashion was sort of like laughed at by a lot of guys, and sometimes they would play along, but it was sort of like, almost tongue-in-cheek. It was sort of like to placate the women, right? And a lot of guys, I remember growing up in the 70s, guys would say in pop culture, a lot of times they would say that, oh yeah, I pretended that I was sad just so that she'd get off my back about sharing my emotions, right? And it was like a big laugh, right? But what happened sometimes in the 80s, 90s, guys, rather than being ironic about this shit, they started to take it seriously. Yeah, they actually started to get all emotional. They started becoming girls, for crying out loud. Never become a girl. Never share your emotions. Never whine about your emotions. Yeah? You feel depressed or unhappy about whatever the hell. I mean, maybe you're at some job and you hate your job. You hate your job and you're just miserable at it, right? Do you tell your woman in great detail? No, you do not. At most, you say, well, I'm pretty unhappy with my job, but let's talk about something else. That's it, okay? Because you gotta remember, see, whining never solved anything. And in point of fact, whining is the way that women communicate with one another, not men. We men are problem solvers, right? Women are sharers. Women love to talk to one another about their emotions and shit, about what they're feeling and they're thinking and this and that and the other, and they share their subjective emotional states all the time, right? Look at any two or more women who gather. What are they going to do? They're going to be talking about their feelings, how they feel about different things, right? What do guys do? We solve problems. That's what we do. And in point of fact, most of the times the problems in a couple will be that the woman is going to be whining about something and the guy is going to be trying to solve that problem, okay? And he won't understand that what the woman wants to do is just blow off steam and whine about whatever the hell, right? But the guy is going to be thinking that, oh, there's a problem to be solved, let's fix it, right? Because that's how we are. We fix shit. We hear of a problem, we hear that somebody's unhappy, and we go to it like, like a fly on shit to fix the problem because we're guys. That's our nature. This is our evolutionary nature, and nothing, no socialization will ever change this fact, right? But see, over the last 30 years, and giving lie to the statement I just made that socialization doesn't change us, right? We men have been convinced that what we should be doing is whining like women. That we should be whining like women and telling women how we feel. And we don't realize that when we do that, what happens? Well, women start to look at us, men, as if we were women. Yeah. In contemporary society, which set of guys never whine to a woman? Obviously, the guys who don't give a shit about that girl, who don't care about her, right? They don't share their emotions with that girl. They don't whine to the girl, right? And so what happens? That girl is instantly and irrevocably attracted to that guy. And she starts saying, oh, you know, I hate this guy. He's an asshole. He never tells me how he feels. I'm totally into him. Yeah, right? Yeah, because that's what women want. They want a guy made of stone, like the Russian girls say. Yeah? They don't want a guy who shares their emotions. And how many times has it happened to you that you're sort of like indifferent and don't pay attention very much to some girl? You never tell her how you feel. You never whine about anything. And she is on you, I mean, like white on rice, and she never wants to leave you. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. And notice that when you start getting into this girl who's on you, right? You start getting into this girl and you start sharing your feelings with her. Maybe you're dumb enough, like I said, you never should in the last video. Maybe you're dumb enough to tell her that you like her. Yeah? What happens? She flees. Yeah, because women don't like guys who share their emotions. Women don't like guys who tell them that they like her. Women don't like guys who whine. Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. And here's the other thing. And it concerns me greatly. See, when women whine, they whine to one another about whatever the hell, right? They whine and it's no big deal. I mean, nobody thinks any less of them. They're no less of a woman because of it, right? But when a guy does it, when you do it, when you start whining and complaining, and complaining impotently, yeah, because that's what whining is. It's complaining without there being any possibility of change, right? Whining and bitching and moaning, right? You become less of a man. It's as simple as that. You become less of a man because, see, if you continue to whine and complain impotently about whatever problem, you know, I mean, the political leadership, the way women are, this, that, the other, it doesn't matter what you're complaining about. If you complain, whine in this impotent manner, you yourself start to become impotent, not just in this particular issue that you're whining about, but in everything in your life, see? You start to like act like a whiner, like a guy who just sits on his ass, complains and bitches and moans and whines about whatever the fuck is going on, and can never fix anything. You start to erode your masculinity when you whine. What makes a man? I always tell you, what makes a man? Simplicity itself. A man can set aside his emotions and use his reason, his logic, his acquired knowledge, and his experience to dictate his actions, to solve the problems that are in front of him, and move forward and achieve the objectives he has in his life. That's what it means to be a man. Men are the only creatures on this earth who can do this, who can just set aside their emotions, leave them off the table, and focus on the problem at hand and achieve the goal, achieve the desired result. This is our great power. This is the reason we have this incredible civilization that surrounds us. These airplanes flying around, this communication technology that allows me, you know, in fucking Ukraine, to be talking to you wherever the hell you are, right? And just spread this message everywhere. We built this. And when you whine, when you start to complain impotently about a problem, you erode this magnificent quality that we have. I'm not saying that you can't complain, okay? No, of course not. You know, the right to complain is sacred, okay? You can complain all you want, but what I'm talking about is whining, okay? Whining is complaining obsessively and impotently. See? You got some problem, some problem at the office, whatever the fuck, right? And you start to complain with your fellow coworkers. Well, how should that complaint evolve? I mean, what should be the direction of the conversation? The direction of the conversation should be like this. It should be like, oh shit, man, we got this fucking problem. Oh man, what the fuck are we gonna do? Oh, fuck it. We gotta solve this fucking problem because it's been annoying me for fucking a month now, okay? And, do you have an IT guy who can help me out? Because we'll get the IT guy and the human resources guy and the finance guy, and we're gonna come together and we're gonna fix this fucking thing so it never bothers us ever again. That's how you complain. You complain in order to identify a problem. But once the problem has been identified, you move to the next step, which is solving the fucking problem. Not going on and on whining and complaining about some problem, because complaining, whining never solved shit. I mean, how many times have you heard that they were like, oh yeah, talking and complaining and whining, and all of a sudden, like magic, the problem, poof, it disappeared. How many times does that fucking happen, huh? Name the one time it's ever happened in human history. Once, where bitching and whining and moaning about some problem actually caused the problem to be solved. Name one fucking time. I'll wait. Of course I'll wait, because I know that the answer will be never. Yeah. You know that, I know that, we all know that. Yeah. Whining and complaining never solved anything. It undermines who you are as a man. Women think that you're a bitch boy and they don't want to fuck you, right? Don't do it. The second you catch yourself whining about whatever, stop. Stop instantly. And say outright, so that you learn, so that you start to actually repress this urge to whine. Because I'm a big believer in repression, by the way. Repress this urge to whine by saying to yourself out loud, so that other people can hear it, say, oh man, I'm whining like a little fucking bitch. Somebody should kick my ass. Say it. Say it out loud. And I'll bet you that in short order, you'll stop whining. You'll stop whining and complaining. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because the whining,